Oh, well, I've got all of 4.5 minutes to talk about Whittaker-Bermite. Should be easy. Whittaker-Bermite's supposed to be done by the end of the year. Do I believe them? Not particularly, but the soil cleanups are supposed to be, they're shooting for the end of the year. They've doubled their size of treatment capacity. They've had good weather up until the environmental river or whatever we have happening this weekend, or this week, like tonight. But they've been moving on. The water treatment plant is, it's not at full capacity, but it's working now. They're only treating 150 gallons of groundwater a minute. The capacity is 500. They just haven't ramped up to that yet. They're still using the water from the water treatment plant that they've built on the property to in their soil cleanups. Like I say, the soil cleanups are shooting to be done by the end of the year. They say the soil vapor extractions won't be done for probably another year after that. But the water treatment and Santa Clarita's water supply will be impacted by Whittaker-Bermite for 30 plus more years. So the cleanup may be done of the soils. The water treatment won't be done for 30 years. So our kids, our grandkids, and even maybe our great-grandkids still will be impacted by Whittaker-Bermite in the future. But they're working on it. The water company, we only have one water company now. The water company is still working on developing a treatment for VOCs that's showing up in our water supply. They treat for perchlorate now, but they're looking for the VOC treatment, and they're still looking for a financial source to help clean it up. But that should be coming pretty soon. They've got a couple of parties that are responsible for it. But like I say, like I wrote in the article I put in the Gazette a couple of weeks ago, the impact on Santa Clarita will be felt for at least 30 more years. So that's all, basically all we've got Bermite. It's there, and hopefully it'll be done. There's some other issues going on in the city about roads and things, and one of the main roads that needs to be put into the city is Via Princesa, which has to go across the Bermite property. They were talking another road that they said would take three to 4 years with the design, development, and then construction just for another road. So hopefully they're looking into starting to figure out what they're going to do with Via Princesa, because in 4 years, God, let's hope that everything's cleaned up and they'll be able to put the road in. The city needs Via Princesa to go across, but they can't do it until it's cleaned up. That's supposed to be the end of the year, but we've always heard over the years, 3 to 5 years, so we'll see what happens. But the water is definitely going to be an issue in the city for 30 years. Anyway, any questions about that?
Where is Via Princesa going to come out? On San Fernando Road somewhere?
Via Princesa will go, comes up by Rainbow Glen.
Yeah, I know that.
And they're going to extend it up to Golden Valley, and then from Golden Valley it's going to go over through above Circle J and drop down onto where Via Princesa comes into Circle J.
No, but on the west side.
On the west side it'll drop into Circle J, and then Via Princesa is in Circle J. And it goes up over the Wiley Canyon Bridge, hooks up to Wiley Canyon Road.
Come into that.
Yeah, so you'll be able to go from Canyon Country up to where Vaughn's is at on Wiley Canyon and Lyons. It'll take you right up there.
Yes,
Ed?
my name is Ed Dunn. My wife and I are 47-year residents of Canyon Country, and we go back to where we tried to become our own county here. So we've been here when all the new things have come along, including the city. And of course, we were in on after we became a city, we were in on the beginning of the perchlorate cleanup. And this is the only place, I think, in Southern California where they did the cleanup backwards, worked on the wells first and not the source, and now they're going to go to the source, or are going to the source. But the political clique that seems to control this city has reasons for doing things the way they do it. And one of the things they're doing is they've delayed the salt cleanup in the river, that they've delayed the perchlorate cleaning over 20 years down in Orange County. They've also delayed the recycled water distribution down in Orange County. They've always had these great and wonderful things for 30 years. We don't have them yet. And what a lot of people don't know that are kind of new to this perchlorate thing and the cleanup, and we were in on some of the very early meetings with the State Department of Toxic Services, et cetera, and the only people keeping the roads from going in is the city. Department of Toxic Services would let us put the roads in with a reduced amount of cleanup for the road bed, which meant it saved you money.
There was a whole lot of different
right, but
legal things going on, and then there was a resolution that they couldn't touch the property until it's cleaned up.
No, the city says that. But
there was all legal. There was a big lawsuit and everything else. And
well, they had legal writings in the state.
My point is that we're to a point now where we do see this light at the end of the tunnel. The cleanup is supposed to be done by the end of the year. Let's hope so. If it's going to take 4 years to plan a road and get it ready to go, they could start planning the road now, as far as I'm concerned, because they need that road.
Right.
And go ahead and start working on it. Right. The only problem is this city is reactive; they're not proactive.
Right. Well,
and a lot of people are pushing for Via Princesa, but they don't have a developer to pay for it yet. They're still looking for a developer to go in. So the developers can't go in until this cleanup's done. And so they can start looking at it, but the city wants to put the road in, but they don't have the money for it, and they only use developer fees for that. So they need a developer to want to go up there and on Bermite to develop the property so they can pay for the bridge and thoroughfare fees to pay for the road, but they don't have the money for that yet. But they could start planning on it. They've already got the planning going between Golden Valley and Rainbow Glen. So they could start working on the planning now, because it's going to take them years to get it done. And like I say, there is light at the end of the tunnel, that we are getting closer to the finally cleanup that thing's been going on for 30 years.
But the Department of Toxic Services worked from state law at the time.
Yes.
And state law allowed roads with less cleanup under the roadbed, saving money, and the roads could have gone in then. The city is the one.
They couldn't touch the property because of all the legal issues.
But they didn't have any legals. They had the law on their side.
There's been legal issues since the 90s.
That's the stories they're using, but they could have put the roads in.
That's not the stories. That's the truth.
Well, how about the roads they have blocked off? We paid to build Cal Grove, we can't use it. We paid to use Valley Federal through Cal Grove, we can't use it. And all
there's legal issues. They cannot touch the property until it's cleaned up.
I'm talking
anyway, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, some of those are outside of Bermite. They still got them closed.